wedding industry in the US is $56 billion annually. According to Notch.com, the average wedding costs approximately $40,000 US. Now, remember, a wedding is just one day. Can you imagine spending so much money to look this pretty just for a day? Now, I have to propose to you a better way. So, here are some tips on how to save on your big day. If you want to see more, keep watching. Thanks for staying, future millionaires. Now, it is well known that most couples' debt outlasts their wedding. So, it is not sensible to spend a large amount of money on your wedding. Remember to like this video, by the way, leave a comment, and definitely subscribe. Now, let's dive into it. Tip number 1. You need to start with a budget. Most brides and grooms start out thinking of all the lovely things they'd like to have at their wedding. However, cost is very important, and you don't want to break the bank for the one-day event. So start out with a budget. It is usually recommended that you start planning a year in advance so that you can, for example, make monthly payments on things that you will use for your wedding. So if you start planning in January you can pay for your flowers. In February, you could pay for the dress. In March, you could pay for the cake, and so on. That's much easier than trying to pay for everything in December if you want to have a Christmas wedding. Tip number 2, cut back on the cost for invitation by simply sending a digital invite. Now, these are wonderful. They're so gorgeous. However, they cost a lot of money. So ensure that you just send them by email instead. If you have older guests, for example, grandma and grandpa, I suggest that you can do a mix of both digital and printed. Maybe 10 printed for those important loved ones that you love so much, but they do not have access to email. But go ahead and email the invitation. We will love you just the same. Tip number 3, floral arrangements. Floral arrangements are so beautiful, and every time we see them, we fall in love. However, they are absolutely expensive, especially when you're using cut flowers. So, cut back on your costs for floral arrangement by using alternatives. For example, silk flowers. Remember also, you don't have to buy everything for your wedding because more than likely, you won't use them again. So think about renting. You can rent floral arrangement, and it's way cheaper that way. Additionally, as it relates to your floral arrangement, remember there are different types of flowers, and different types of flowers come at a different cost. You might love roses or you might like orchids, but orchids are way more expensive than roses. If you are out of the box like me and you like sunflower, it might be at a different cost. So what you need to do is think about what you like, but also compare costs. Say you want orchids and you are thinking of yellow. Maybe you could use yellow roses instead to lower the cost that you will incur. Tip number 4 is cakes. Cakes are so pretty and so awesome, but it does not necessarily have to cost you a big box. Look at this cake, for example. This is actually a fake cake. However, it looks real, it looks delicious, and you can use it in place of real cake. Not necessarily 100%, but you could use it as a part of your decor. So what you're going to do is get a fake cake, but you're going to get some real cake also. So if you want it to look as though you have a lot of cake at your wedding, you use both items. Now, remember, cake is something that most of your relatives can probably bake. If someone in your family is a chef or is really good at making a cake, they can also assist you with this. Additionally, store-bought cake. Remember, you can actually go to Price Mart if you're in Jamaica, or say Walmart if you're in another country, and purchase a cake. Get a plain cake that is not decorated, doesn't have any icing on it, And you can go ahead, take it to your decor person and let them decorate the cake for you. Now, as it relates to layers, many persons want multi-layered cake at their wedding. And that's fine. You can get that at the store too. So what you're going to do, say for example, if you want a 3-layered cake, you're going to go ahead, buy a 12-inch cake, an 8-inch cake, and a 6-inch cake. Look at that. You have your layers. Take it to your person who will do the decor, and boom, you're good to go. So do not waste money on a cake, because while you'll use some of it as souvenir, a lot of people actually waste cake at their wedding. Tip number 5. Let your family members help you in any way possible. Remember, it's your big day and we're all super happy for you. So if you ask me to do something, I'll be more than happy to do it. If I ask you to do something, wouldn't you be more than happy to assist? Of course, we love you and we want to help. So if you have sisters, brothers, mommy, daddy, everybody, let them help. What you can also do is ask for financial assistance as opposed to a gift. So you can start a registry. Now, if your brother is a DJ, there's absolutely no need for you to go ahead and pay for a DJ if he's professional enough and if it will be to your liking. Tip number 6. Cut the numbers. Now, I know you want to invite the world and you want the world to see you on your big day, but guess what? That's only going to cost you money. So think about all the persons who mean a lot to you, those who have been there for you throughout your lifetime, and then cut the numbers based on that. If you want a tip for how to know who to invite, think about all the persons who you have not spoken to in the last 3 months. If you have not spoken to them in the last 3 months, so much could have happened and they are not aware of it. Maybe you're not as close to them as you think. So think about that and start cutting those numbers, because that can save you a lot of money. Tip number 7. Location, 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 location. Now, I know that some of you want to get married in a garden setting, maybe close to the beach, but have you ever thought of the costs and how it increases based on location? Yes, it's actually way cheaper to get married in a chapel or a church. So while you want to be fancy, my love, you might want to think about that. Tip number 8, cut tradition. I know your parents are looking at you side-eye right now, and the grandparents are probably a little bit upset. However, traditions cost money. While we want to honor our parents, think about how honoring them is costing you. Have a conversation. They absolutely love you and want what's best for you. So you could talk to them about it and explain why it is that you're not going to have a trail at the back of your dress, because that dress is probably more expensive than just having a regular straight dress, or a carpet running down your aisle, when that will cost you $100 extra. Tip number 9, rings. Rings cost a lot of money. So a ring might be absolutely important to you. And maybe when you were making your budget, a large part of your allocation was your ring, because that is one part of the wedding that will stay with you for a very long time. However, remember that there are options. You could choose silver, gold, white gold / platinum. So silver is obviously the cheaper choice. If you like silver and you're okay with getting a silver ring, don't break the bank to buy gold, because remember, this is a one-time purchase and you cannot sell the ring for the same money that you bought it for. Tip number 10, the bridal party. Some persons have a lot of friends and I understand that. However, remember that you are basically paying for all of these individuals to eat at your wedding. And not only that, some of us are a little bit more generous and we pay for things like the outfit that they will wear on the day. So the bigger the number, the larger the amount of money that you will have to spend. Some persons go as far as even having a mini bridal party. Remember that this is only costing you more money. So think about who are your closest friends, who are the ones who are always there for you, and include them. The other friends who are not so close, totally understand. Give them a regular invitation so you will not have to pay for their clothing and possibly an extra plate of food. For watching to the end, future millionaires, I have a bonus tip for you. No, don't tell the others who clicked off, but most of us want to have a bachelor or bachelorette party. This is additional cost for you. So remember, this is not necessarily something you have to do. It's just an old tradition. You could gather with your close friends for a drink or maybe just picnic at the park, but don't have a huge party when you have a huge party coming up, which is your wedding. If you have any questions about any of the props I used in this video, contact my friend Christine Bailey-Lennon. I will link her number and email address in the description box. She is a professional international events and wedding planner. Thank you so much for watching Future Millionaires, and until next week, stay financially literate.